It pains my heart when I see what this government is doing to the great sprinting legend of Jamaica, Usain Bolt. It is a disgrace. The man invested his money for his retirement in an institution regulated by the Jamaican regulatory body for investments in the country. And there was a massive fraud going on in there. Nigel Clark was Minister of Finance.
Bless up ABR family and viewers. Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Isabel Rose, and in this one, another investor of the fraud hit Stocks and Securities Limited breaks her silence. Stay tuned for the details at hand. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Notification shout out goes to Ashani Marcus. Big up yourself, Ashani. Thanks for the continued support from each and every one. So after the whole revelation of big fraud at the Stocks and Securities Limited back in 2023 of January, where it is said that almost 5 billion Jamaican dollars were fleeced from over 200 investors, to which we know one to be the icon Usain Bolt. And so after many months of sitting and waiting for them to find some form of amicable solution upon investigation, to this day nothing has turned for the 200 and odd investors, to which Usain Bolt took to social media, basically went on an interview, first ever interview on the Fix, and he basically saying that he wanted money and that the powers that be are not helping. And so I was calling on the other investors to come forward and, stand with Usain Bolt and to come and speak up for their money as well. Now, we're seeing a 78-year-old woman from St. Andrew who invested $60 million in the fraud hit investment firm since 2019, which she said investigators later told her was never actually invested. Wow. And this is the same information that the JLP FM run out with as it pertains to Usain Bolt. Then if the money was not invested, it does not mean that the money was not in SSL. So the money reach SSL, them never invest the people in money, and them take the people in money and spend it to their liking and use it up and do whatever they want. So if it's indeed that the money was not invested, it does not mean that the money did not reach SSL. Let's make it clear. She stated that she has been left financially ruined. So how she came about this $60 million? She said her father passed and a property in Montego Bay was basically willed to her and her other 3 siblings, to which same was sold, and she collected her portion, a check of $60 million, to which she basically turned to SSL and she went there with the check to invest. She stated that track and field great Usain Bolt name was also used as a pull factor. So they basically did know say Usain Bolt have him investment there, and them use him name as well as other big names to pull in other investors. She quoted, when they collected the check from her, they were very excited. They were very happy. They told me not to worry because I wanted to go to Bank of Nova Scotia or JMMB. The guy said to me, if SSL goes under, your money is in Cayman. I never forget that. Those were his words. So then it begs to question, could it be that some of Usain Bolt's money is indeed in Cayman, tied up in other companies, assets of SSL? She said on January 3rd, 2020, a proposal from SSL to her outlined how the firm had intended to invest $58.6 million from the funds she handed over. And here's a breakdown of same. The below proposal was created on a conservative basis to increase the current income derived while keeping to an acceptable risk-adjusted level given your risk appetite. The document signed by then portfolio manager Shannon Harris and SSL founder and director Hugh Croskery. It said that 58.6 million would be spread across its group of companies, predominantly in US dollar income solutions and Jamaica dollar equities. It stated that capital preservation, liquidity, and high income were the key income objectives. A total of 5 million would be invested in SSL Jamaica brokerage. Broken down, 2 million would purchase stocks in the National Commercial Bank, 2 million in Wisinco, and 1 million set aside for specific upcoming IPOs. The remaining sum of 53.6 million would be invested in SSL Private Wealth Management and SSL Asset Management. Cayman. A breakdown of how those funds would be managed said 100,000 US would be invested in Eden Garden private financing, offering 6.5% per annum for 2 years. It added that 290,000 US dollars would go on FTSM and would be kept earning interest until solutions proposed were activated. These solutions included US 200,000 in mortgage fund secured lending, 50,000 US in SSL's BTG contingent convertible at 8% Canadian dollars, and 40,000 US in a high yield liquid bond ETF. So them basically sell her a story, them sell a lady a story. She began to say after that, when I went on the internet and looked, the money was there. Everything was there even long after everything happened. It was there. Honestly, I don't know why I turned in there, speaking to SSL. It was just the convenience of it. I just wanted to put it somewhere until I decided to buy an apartment with it and have a little left over to live off. She said when she learned of the whole fraud back in 2023, she called one of the SSL directors who reportedly told her not to worry and that her funds had not been touched and were safe. So, where is the lady's money? She added, I did not know that there was a red flag on SSL from 2015 or 2016, and I wasn't business-minded like that way to research it properly. Then when you hear that they are listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, it felt better. But when I went to get back my money, it was chaos. Following the revelation of the fraud at SSL, she responded to the FSC appointed manager who requested for all clients to come in. And she said she was one of the first and thought that she would have gotten her money back. She went on several interviews and even left her banking details, but that proved to be in vain. She was also interviewed by members from the Financial Investigative Divisions, even members from Kroll, who quizzed her at Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. It is said that the UK firm Kroll went a step further, informing her that it was unlikely that her money was ever invested. She said the FSC should not have allowed SSL to keep on taking money because they are there to regulate them, and if they know that a company has red flags, they should have gone back and stopped everything until they had sorted themselves. She recalled that her son had cautioned her not to get comfortable and to pool her funds and purchase the apartment as planned. She visited the firm 5 times requesting the money since that conversation, but she ended up leaving without a check each time. I said I need my money now. And someone would say to her, "No man, everything is fine, stop worrying about it," and hug me up. This was all before the crash that I was asking for my money until this day, nothing. She said, "Sometimes I talk to God, I say, what is the lesson and what is the reason for this? I had to go to the doctor and get tranquilizers. I was a wreck." The woman said she has since secured a part-time job and her rent and other bills are taken care of by her children. "But I need my money. This has ruined me financially." Noting that it was because of the recent interview done by Usain Bolt on The Fix why she contacted the Sunday Cleaner. However, here's the real truth, ABR family. The FSC, that's the Financial Services Commission, basically flagged SSL in 2017 due to a culture of non-compliance and mismanagement of clients' funds. It was deemed unsafe and unsound practices 8 years earlier in 2009 forced the FSC to disrupt the repurchase agreement business of the firm in 2010 after it noted a $1.3 billion deficit between client liabilities and other similar arrangements and SSL's matching assets. So they were basically flagged again in 2017, but initially discrepancies are gone dated back to 2009 and 2010. So when we're saying that the government is reliable or is culpable and needs to come and speak up on all these clients' investment that they lost, the minions them running out like Venesha, the Labourites them running out, cursing out Usain Bolt and in essence cursing all the investors who told them to invest their money there. When FSC is under the portfolio of the government who should be regulating all financial institutions. So because of their inaction, then it is due that they would have been culpable and is to take some of the blame for all these investors who lost their money. I feel it for all these investors, and because the others are not coming forward and we know that Usain Bolt, was one of them. So that's why in many essence we're referring to Usain Bolt, but we're speaking on all of the investors that they should indeed get their money back. It's even alleged that what took place at SSL also took place at Eagle Century back in the 80s and early 90s. And those were some of the practices that led to the whole financial crisis. And that's why the government back then had created FinSac. So to all of the little fool people that were still around and talk about FinSac was the solution. Get that in on the ticket. FinSac was the solution that gave investors their money after them freeze couple assets well and sell them out and give back the investors them their money. And one of the very same person who was a part of this SSL was involved back then, was one of the key players back then. And I said this many times ago.
It pains my heart when I see what this government is doing to the great sprinting legend of Jamaica, Usain Bolt. It is a disgrace. The man invested his money for his retirement in an institution regulated by the Jamaican regulatory body for investments in the country. And there was a massive fraud going on in there. Nigel Clark was Minister of Finance. When the report come to his office about the problems, he put the report in a cupboard and forget about it. Andrew Holness had money in there. And Andrew Holness take out his money before the thing collapsed. and leave Bolt and others to suffer the massive losses of, in his case, millions and millions of hard-earned US dollars that he raised through his exploits on the track to bring glory to Jamaica. What can go so? What can go so? Well, I'm here to tell you that when we form government, no stone will be left unturned to chase down that money for Mr. Bolt and the others. No stone will be left unturned. This lackadaisical approach, dragging the thing out, we can't get any information. We want the reports. We want the Crow reports to see what has happened. And there must be a commission of inquiry into the regulatory failures that would allow an institution like that, licensed to deal in securities and manage people's money, to have been operating for years, carrying out such massive fraud, and the regulator let them go ahead and let them go ahead until it was too late. We are going to get to the bottom of it because we respect the people involved who have put their money in Jamaica, and to the diaspora and others overseas. We need to send the signal that we take it seriously and that Jamaica is a place where you can come and invest your money. And this government is letting the people down.
So ABR family, tell me what you think about this. I really and truly feel for this lady and all the others. Even our icon Usain Bolt. Big injustice, big disgrace upon Jamaica to not step in at the right time. Jump on the comments in the comment section, make me know the reason. Tell me what you think. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel on the road to 30k and beyond. Help me to get there. Get this video to at least 5,000 likes. Spread that one near and far. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay tuned for more updates. Big up on yourself.